Right, in this tutorial we'll be looking at how to model these sort of log stools. You can see they're very simple shapes, so the method we're going to use is the revolving a profile method, or just revolve, and it's very simple to do. So I'm going to start off by just drawing a guide container, so basically a rectangle with the dimensions of that object. So I'm just estimating it's, let's say, 500 by, I don't know, 250. There we go. There we go. Next I'm going to take a line just to highlight the center of that object. And then just using this image as a reference, I'm going to use my polyline tool. And I'm just going to draw this out. So there we go. And make sure to close the shape. Alright, there we go. And just to recap, for those of you that don't know too much about polyline, if you're drawing, for example, like this, and you want to have a curve, if you look at your command bar at the bottom there, you've got arc, distance, follow, half width, etc. If I want it to curve, I do arc, so I press A and enter, and now you'll see an arc appears. And depending on how I move my mouse, that affects the angle of the arc and how prominent that arc will be. Okay. And then if you want it to go back to line, you press L and it goes back to line. Now also when you're drawing your arc, if you press A for arc and you see it's not really bending how you want it to bend, and perhaps I want this to be a bit more gradual, this bend over here, what I can do is I can press D for direction, and then I just click and then drag out my arc. You can even flip the side around, so once again D for direction, and you can see how that'll work. So it also allows you to control how much that arc curves. Anyway, so back to this one here. So we've got our shape. Now we're going to use the revolve command. So solids revolve. Select the shape. Enter. It'll ask us to choose an axis. So I'm going to use this center line here. So just click and click on it. 2 points. It's going to revolve 360, so I type in 360 and enter, and there we have our shape. I'm going to export this through to the modeling side quick. So we're going to use advanced export. The reason we do this is because it's a curved object, or it's got smooth edges, I use normal +4. This just allows us to add more sort of quality to that curve. So if we take a look at the object we've just put in, I'm just going to rotate this by 90 degrees here. There we go. And let's just take a look at it in a different angle. So there we go. Now we can start applying textures. So we can see it's got a sort of a grey and then a wood top here. So what I did is I went on to cgtextures.com and I went and took some JPEGs of wood off there. So let me just go open up those textures, and here are the textures I made. So this is for the wood, okay, this one here, and then I also did one for the bump map if you're going to have one. So what we can do is you're going to see if I where's my folder gone? There we go. If I drag and drop this onto the top, it's going to map the whole object. This is not what we really want. We only want the top to be mapped. And since this is a solid object, we're going to have to do something called detached coplane surface. So we're going to go to Object, Detached Coplane Surface, click on the top here. You'll see it becomes highlighted in green. Right click, and now this is a separate surface to the rest of the model. So now what we can do here is we can just use Fit Map. Scales it perfectly for us, and then we can use our material editor to go and create a new material, and we get rid of that texture box, and we can give it that grey color that we have in the picture, and we can apply it to the rest of the model, and there you go. Now what you can do is when you want to convert this into an MRM file, you can go to your products library, export whole scene, and let's just call this go save it to the desktop, and I'll call it log stool. And now we can bring that straight back into our design. It's log stool, and there we have a nice MRM of our model. This one you can go and manipulate to whatever size you want, you know, to make it look like the other ones, like this long tall one here, or one a little bit smaller. And you can also use that method to model the other ones from scratch too. So yeah, that's just a new modeling method to know.